got in front of you is not a cold steel sword. It's not a, you know, really nice. This is purely decorational. Friend gave it to me and said, "Hey, I've got this decorational sword, this ornamental piece. Can you sharpen it?" I'll do it. Whatever. So I've been working on it tonight. And I don't know if you guys can see that. I actually managed to get a blade on, or an edge on it. Sorry, a blade. I already had a blade on it. Managed to get a pretty good edge on it. This part up here is so thick that pretty much all I could do is just get it ready for piercing. And I know exactly what he's going to do with this. He's going to take it home and cut stuff. So, let's see if it'll cut. I got a couple snags. I think that's pretty good, especially for something that's supposed to hang on your wall and not be used. These things are actually really dangerous, not sharp if you decide to try and use them. Which is funny because my brother's machete is made up solely of one of these. He spent like 20 bucks on it. It's full size. But past this, past your pommel, there's nothing. It's a rat tail. It goes to a screw. The whole length, 90% of the time, is a screw on these decorative ones. And then at the back cap here, there's a bolt right under this, and it's got some movement to it, so I wouldn't be a bit surprised if that's what it's hinging on. See if I can't get it open enough to see. They just covered up with a strap. That's just a bolt. So, just ornamental, just supposed to be for show. But it will cut. It's not a great edge. It's pretty decent steel though. But my brother bought his 20 bucks, decided to throw it at a tree, try and stick it into a tree by throwing it, which my dad was firmly opposed to. It hit the tree, kind of bounced off. Handle broke, obviously, because of the rat tail. And we're like, oh man, he was like, man, I'm out of sword, I'm out 20 bucks. And I was kind of looking at it. He goes, well, it's, you know, it's good steel. This was probably 10 years ago. And basically, he took an angle grinder, measured out his hand width, ground off that part of the blade, wrapped it with a wet belt using pliers to tighten it as much as he could, and that's what he uses as a handle. He's got the full length. I'm getting fingerprints all over this, and I just polished it for him too. So it actually looks good as well as cuts. So I'm spending a bit of time doing that. Get a clean rag here and wipe it down again. But yeah, it's just, there's the stamp of how well it was made, just etched in China. Not a bad little sword. He's got a full 3-piece set. And he checks out my channel occasionally, so you're coming home later tonight. I'll make sure to get this to you. Him and his wife went out of town, so I'll make sure they get this. And then I decided to do a little work for myself. My Recon one was going dull. Not going dull, losing its edge. Found it. So this is not purely for decoration. I like to keep it this sharp as long as I can, which means stropping it occasionally. You know, if I use it 3 or 4 times a week, come the weekend I'll strop it. And a lot of times weekend is when I do most of my sharpening. I actually find it relaxing. I can sit there with the blade and spend hours just sharpening it, putting an edge on it and seeing what it can do. So let's just carve this paper into nothing. I'm getting a snag there because of the paper. I'm not getting a good bite or a good grip on the paper. And I think to drown out the background noise of my living in an apartment, I'm just going to have the radio playing from now on. Kind of gives something other than me talking to listen to. And it's not a train, it's not cars. I mean, obviously you can still hear those, but it's not as obvious. And sometimes I tend to get some loud neighbors, so. I should be getting some goodies on Friday. There we go, that's my favorite, just putting a little tension on it and drawing the blade across. Not really, oh, here I'll show you. This blade is not going to go forward or backwards, it's going to go straight down. It's got a little, you know, we'll even do the tip. Tip's not quite as sharp, but that's not bad. So, it cuts, it works. I was telling you guys about my M-Tech. This is honestly probably the sharpest knife I've ever sharpened. Still needs some work to it, but you know, see what we can do here. The blade or the edge is kind of jagged, but there's been multiple times we got 2 cuts on the same finger from literally just touching this knife. Got a couple on my thumbs, fingers. That one there on my finger was just from touching it. I mean, not moving it along the blade or anything. But if it's sitting next to something and I go to grab something and nick the blade, it cuts. So, but yeah, this week I should be getting my G10 and liners. Basically the material I need for my 2 project knives that I'm finishing up, which would be the M-Tech and the sod project. And that should carry me into next week. After my camp trip, of course. We got a camp trip this weekend with a couple friends. That should be a blast. I'll have some video of that. I don't know how much I'll put up. I'll talk to my friends and see how comfortable they feel about being put online. Now some people don't like it. Don't get my face, don't get my voice. I know when I first started I didn't like being on camera, but I'm almost 30 videos into it and it's almost an addiction. Not being on camera, but just making videos. It keeps me busy. Right now I'm waiting for my next semester of school to begin. Going to school to be a welder. And this kind of keeps me occupied. Hopefully it can be a hobby. I can start making some knives to sell. So yeah, I think I'm gonna, actually I think tonight I'm gonna do some work on my M-Tech. See if I can't get it a little more cleaned up, a little nicer. But just working on some sharpening video or some sharpening tonight. And I thought I'd kind of show you guys what I was working on. And it should be a for sure thing about getting my material this weekend. Like I said, I'm going with red, bright red liner, black and green G10, nickel pins. And I'm probably going to do each one of these. Just, not these 3. I don't know what I'm going to do with those. And then the 2 brass pins in here with the Cocobolo. So that's what I'm working on. And oh, I was going to show you guys my file knives. Worked on these a little bit today. Got the front sawed off of that one. Sawed cut off of that one. And I'm going to turn that into a little knife. So kind of looking forward to doing that. So, no little bits wasted. Alright guys, it's Chaotic Burn. That's all I've got for you tonight. Have a good one. I'll touch base with you guys later.